Hello everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Thursday Murder Club, and this is a new murder mystery film from Netflix and director Chris Columbus, who, made the first two Harry Potter films and Home Alone, and here tells the story of four retirees who spend most of their time solving cold cases for fun, but their casual sleuthing takes a thrilling turn when they find themselves in a real whodunit on their hands that has a deep personal impact on their experience. And what I feel like Chris Columbus is able to do with this film is it has that charm that Columbus is able to get across in like a Home Alone and a Harry Potter, and also balancing it with a good wit about it and bringing this film a tone that really works in terms of making this like a fun, jaunting kind of romp of a murder mystery. And we appreciate that. It has a good, thrilling time to it, but it does have moments that get a little bit more serious, and I think Columbus shifts gears well enough to bring that, and there's some good emotional beats as well. But overall, this has a lot of fun going on and a lot of charm. And when the time comes, especially later in the film, there's one particular sequence involving some of the retirees, and there's just an emotional weight to that delivers. And I think Columbus does a nice job of balancing all that. The film's well paced. This might be a 2-hour film, but it's moving, and it has plenty going on as well. I do feel like the film might get a little too convoluted, but I do appreciate how there's layers to the mystery going on, multiple dead bodies, and they all feel like they're moving in the same direction. And even though there's a lot of different threads coming together, they all seem to do a really fine job of coming together in an interconnected and meaningful way, where the motivations feel authentic and real, and that there's at least some hinting, and they don't feel cheap. They don't feel like they come out of nowhere just for shock's sake. There's layers to it that really work. And this is written by Katie Brand and Suzanne Heathcote, who based this off of Richard Osman's novel, which has become a series. And I think they translate it well to the screen and inject, there's a subplot about this police officer, Donna, who's dealing with the fact she comes from the big city and she's treated like she's not capable, and there's that sexism going on in the police force. There's immigration storyline, which of course feels very relevant today, and also the challenges of aging, and there's complex moral quandaries going on because the whole entire crux of what leads this domino effect to happen is that, there's these businessmen that own this estate where all these retirees get to live, and one of them wants to sell it all off. And, clandestine things happen and twists and turns along the way. And I feel like at the core of this, you have these four amateur sleuths. And Helen Mirren is intense and resourceful. And her character, Elizabeth, has a lot of mystery, and you can kind of figure out, she obviously was involved in some, legit ops and stuff like that for the government. And Mirren just has a toughness that just pulls that all together. Pierce Brosnan is so darn charming as this, aging rebel who has done tons of sit-ins and protests and stuff like that. He's an organizer, and he's a fun energy to bring to the team for sure, including his son, played by Tom Ellis, as in Lucifer himself from the show. And you just have that kind of layered in, and that father-son relationship. Ben Kingsley is refined and intellectual and charming, and he's kind of the more brainy one of the bunch. And Celia Imrie's Joyce is a fun addition because she's the new one. She's us coming into this dynamic and finding her spot in this group and what she brings to the table. And Naomi Ackie, who plays Donna, that police officer, she's a fun addition to the cast. And Daniel Mays, who plays her superior, he's a lot of fun despite the fact that he's very ignorant to what's really going on. I feel like there's just such a great cast. Jonathan Pryce plays Helen Mirren's husband, and that relationship becomes so significant. He has dementia, and there's definitely some moving moments there, and he's kind of like the emotional core to her and grounds her, and I love that dynamic between them. And then you have the likes of David Tennant and Jeff Bell from Mobland and Richard E. Grant, who play these seedier members of the cast and characters in the story, and they really sell those roles well, doing their thing. And how this all threads together honestly really surprised me by the end, how it all works so cohesively. And sure, maybe Christopher Columbus plays on a little bit too many tropes and maybe takes a little bit safer of approach with some of the elements of the film. But there is still some good intensity and darker elements of this story that shine through. And this film really does deliver a compelling mystery with good wit and a great crew of actors bringing layered, interesting characters to life. I just bought into this so well, and it makes me want to see this Osmond's series get other editions and see if Columbus turns this into a little movie franchise that has a lot of potential for sure. But those are my thoughts on the Thursday Murder Club. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.